Well, I think it's one of the more clear-cut perhaps Ashes series, and I think England will win the series 3-0. I suspect the weather might have a little bit to play in it, but I don't think the Aussies are going to be quite as bad as everybody thinks, and I think 3-0 will be a fair result for England. I suppose Adelaide would be certainly one of them, and Edgbaston would be certainly the one in the UK. If we're talking trying to sort of get 5, it'd be so difficult. I suppose Booney would be one of them. Beefy would be another. AB probably another. I mean, crikey! I mean, there are so many. It would be so difficult to say who the others you'd want round there. Blimey. Irv would be a great character to have round there as well. So that's 4. Blimey. I suppose if you're going to have that lot, you might as well have Lammy as well. So you know, I could be struggling with that lot. I could be sort of sitting under the table whilst they're still drinking. But it'd be quite interesting. Having said that, I mean, if you really were talking about Ashes people who weren't around, you know, you'd like to sort of sit down perhaps with Sir Donald Bradman, you know, Sir Douglas Jardine. I'm sure, I suppose I wouldn't mind sort of sitting down with Richie Benaud. And then you've got to have Warney in there somewhere. I mean, I couldn't get him in with the drinking with the boys, but Warney would have to be in there with that lot because he's, you know, a wonderful bowler. And I suppose Glenn McGrath. So there's another 5. So you can see how difficult it's going to be as to which one, whether you wanted the drinking one or the other one, sort of thing. So I would have to say, I suppose, 1981 when we played at Headingley, and that was just an extraordinary match. Having said that, we've seen some others, and actually in that series we saw an extraordinary match where Beefy came on and got sort of 5 for none to win the match at Edgbaston. So yeah, I suspect 81, although having won the Ashes in Melbourne, which was also quite an extraordinary match in 3.5 days, to win the Ashes was quite extraordinary too. But for being as many runs behind as we were, and for the feats of Botham and Dilley and Willis, 81 probably would be the one that you'd have to say is a standout one. It's a very difficult one. I mean, there was no, what I'd say, real standout. You know, if you were talking about real standout when we played Ashes, I mean, Bruce Reid really only played one Test series against us. Probably Merv played more because he carried on from 86 on, but you know, never really sort of hit the heights till the 90s. Craig McDermott was in there, but again only for a period of time. Alderman was in and out. Rodney Hogg was another one, you know, wonderful bowler. So to say best, very difficult, you know, very difficult indeed. Best batting performance in the Ashes? Overall, certainly the knocks that I remember Alan Border playing on a number of occasions, certainly saved them in Perth in 86-7. He certainly played a magnificent knock up at Old Trafford with a broken finger and got 100 and nearly saved them up there. The AB's played an awful lot of wonderful knocks. Steve Waugh did as well going forward. He played some great knocks too. For us, I mean, Gower, when you look at sort of 81, 85, 86, 7, you know, you've got some 200s in there, and so yeah, that would probably do, I suspect. Well, there'd have to be 2. Obviously one when Bob Willis finally got that sort of wicket, and almost possibly when Beefy finished getting 5 for none at Edgbaston in that same series. coupled with obviously Gladstone catching that wonderful catch at the MCG in 86, Christmas of 86. So those would probably be the three, and I suppose it would really have to be, sadly, although 81, as we said, was a great series, to see Gladstone catch that and us winning it down under was just absolutely outstanding. Oh, 93, I can't think what happened there. Yeah, a little blonde bombshell came on, didn't he? He was quite an interesting chappie. Very good thing about that was that he wasn't one of those that were sort of one test wonder. He went on to get 700 wickets, so I don't feel too bad these days about talking about that one. But no, wonderful. I mean, then you talk about the team they had with Gilchrist and McGrath, Ponting, you know, Hayden and Langer, and what they did for 10 years and how they played was quite outstanding. And probably, if you looked at that side, you'd probably have half a dozen of them in the all-time great Australian side. So, you know, there's some wonderful players and had a wonderful team for a period of time. I have to say, I'm not. I think probably what was more funny when they let the pig go at Melbourne. Probably that was more funny than any of those. No, I'd have to say I don't remember Warney's stump dance anyway, and the sprinkler. Well, not really quite sure what that was all about anyway. But there we are. Perhaps I'm a boring old git. Who knows?